And the recording has started. All right. Let's get a roll call. Who's in here right now?
Greetings. It's Phoenix.
Okay. What's up? Who else?
I'm in here, Joey.
All right. What up, Joe? Okay. Cool.
What?
Who else is here? Where's the shy people?
Just one. Yeah.
All right. What up, Brian?
What's up?
How
everybody doing?
All right. What's up? I need some more people in here, man, because tonight is the night.
Hey, Jim's in the house.
What's up?
What's up?
Chilling.
Cool.
All right. Let me see. I'm waiting for a couple other people to get in here because I need to explain this to some other people too. Like, you always do that when I start. I have to put you in the kitchen, yo.
What?
Let's see. Oh, I was talking to my dog, man. Pardon me. I was talking to the dog. I was making threats.
Poor Knuckles, man.
You know what's interesting? You got the household set up where the man of the house is inseparable with the dog, and then you have the household situation where the man of the house can't fucking stand the dog. And you know, I love him, but I don't like him, and so that's as much honesty as you get out of me with that. Love him, but don't like him.
Because he was a compromise.
He was a compromise. Yes, he is consistent compromise every morning. But yes, I love him and I pet him and I feed him and all of that stuff that you guys expect me to do. It's just that he pisses me off a lot. Now, okay, so, all right. Well, it seems that I'm a bit calmer now than I was earlier. So this is not going to be as abrasive as a conversation as I thought we were going to have. But I am very much tired of this whole trust stuff. I'm tired of the confusion and people being confused and sounding crazy to me. And you know what's interesting? I'm going to say a lot. I'm going to say a lot tonight. I'm going to let a lot go tonight. And I'll be explaining all of this because it's the word is sickening. It's sickening, and I'm going to tell you why it's sickening. It's sickening because while I'm trying to explain and teach private trust to people, they are confused because of this birth certificate, Cestui Que Vi crap, and because they want to chase money. So this is getting in the way of me teaching people how to truly do this. That bothers me. It bothers me because there's people out there suffering that need to know this stuff to help them get out of it, but they can't because they're blinded by money. So they're chasing everything. And so let me tell you what's going on. I'm gonna tell y'all what's going on. What's happening is people are rooting for all of the teams. Like there's two teams playing in a championship, right? And what people are doing is you're rooting for both teams, right? So that whatever team wins, you'll join that side. That's what everybody's doing. So so what people are doing is they're paying attention to me, but they're also paying attention to this guy and that guy. And what happens is because they don't know who's right. You're not sure, but because these are the people that are not using their spirits to find the truth. So being that you're not sure which way is going to get you the money and which way is going to get you free and make them leave you alone, because you're not sure, you're listening to everybody and you're following everybody. Let me explain something to you. How are you going to get from point A to point B if you follow everybody? It can't work, right? It can't work. And the result of this is confusion. So almost everybody is confused about what a private trust really is. Yes, it's true. 98% of everybody out there who who says the word trust has no idea what they're talking about because of the confusion and because they're blinded by chasing money. Okay? So I'm going to begin this class by getting that trust out of my way once and for all, because I'm never talking about it again. Okay? I'm never talking about this Cestui Que Vi person, all capital letter crap ever again. All right? So let me get it out of my way and out of my face. All right? The Cestui Que Vi Trust is the birth certificate, all capital letter name trust that is associated with the Social Security number. And when the entire situation was set up, there was a value put on everyone's life. Well, on everyone's death. And so that trust is what everybody's chasing and following and trying to solve that puzzle, that mystery. And I'm going to tell you right now, and I've said it before, I went down that path in 2012. It is a trap. People are still listening to this, and I don't understand how they're still listening to this when none of these people got any money from this, man. And I learned about the whole ACH thing before anyone else. I have the trust here on my phone. I have the entire factualized trust, and I have the entire file, the steps to how to pay your debt with your Social Security. I have the whole thing, man. I have the trust, the instructions for that and everything, and I didn't touch it. Why? Because I did this in 2012. It doesn't frickin' work. If it does, find me somebody who got their money from this. All right? Right? So look, check this out, right? I don't care about it. Don't bring it up to me anymore. I don't want to talk about it. It doesn't have anything to do with your freedom. I'm very sorry for all of those authenticated birth certificate people, but I don't care about it. That's not how you free yourself. It's a trap. They're leading you into dealing with people that are going to try to destroy you. Okay? All right? Authentication and certification and verification, look, by definition, they're the same. By definition, they're different. By practice, they're the same. There's no visuals. There's no slides. You guys need to take your pen, get paper and pens, right? Because I'm going to say a lot, man. Okay? And the first thing I want to do is get that trust out of my way, son, and out of my face. Okay? You do not need to do it. Look. Does anyone know why they authenticate the birth certificate? Does anyone know why they did it? Has anyone done it? And if you have, do you know why you did it? Do you know why? Right, you don't know why. Right, you don't know why. I have no idea why. So all of these months and years and posts about doing this, and these people don't know why they're doing it. Let me tell you the stupid reason why you're doing it, why people are doing it, because I don't know who you is. I'm not talking to anybody in particular. But let me tell you why people are authenticating their birth certificates, to prove that it's theirs. That is stupid, okay? It's stupid, all right? It's stupid. It's stupid, and it's stupid, okay? If you have the birth certificate and you have all that other stuff that the government gave you to go with it, that's the proof that it's yours, man. You don't need to prove that that's yours. This is me and this is mine and I own it and that's get out of here, B. Like, look, listen, man. It was assigned to you. Okay? It was assigned to you. It's not yours, but it was assigned to you, right? Right? You don't need to, okay. Did anybody in your life ever ask you to authenticate that? Right. See, nobody in your life ever asked you to authenticate that. Does anyone know who the Secretary of State is? Wait, I hear noise. Does anyone know who the Secretary of State really is? Does anyone know what his position is? Right? Or why people are sending these authenticated birth certificates to him or her? Does anyone know why? I mean, because, I'm thinking some people in here, took some steps already, right? So I need to hear some voices, man. Does anyone know why they have to send, they were told to send the authenticated birth certificate to the Secretary of State?
No.
Because he's the trustee.
He is not the trustee. But that is a very good answer. And in general, the government considers everybody else other than the grantor and the beneficiary as a trustee. So that is right and wrong at the same time. Here's the deal. Because nobody stepped up to the plate, the Secretary of State becomes the general manager and executive secretary of the trust by default, because no one else stepped up to that position. Because the Secretary of State is the executive secretary and general manager of the trust, people are sending the birth certificate to them to prove that they are the holders of the birth certificate. That's what's going on. For all the people who have listened to all these people that have not told you that. Okay? Right? But here's what's going to happen. And I'm not mad at y'all, but here's what's going to happen. Even after I tell you this tonight, you're still going to go into these other groups and read this other crap and comment and ask questions and be confused tomorrow. I am bothered by this. You're confusing yourself, man. And then you're making my job harder because I'm spending all this time trying to explain this to people, and you still don't get it because you're not focused, man. I'm trying to get you focused. You told me that you wanted to play basketball. You wanted to make it in the NBA, right? I'm trying to teach you how to play basketball, right? But as soon as we finish, you're practicing baseball and football. And tomorrow you're going to be practicing soccer. And then when it's time to play a game, you're going to be missing your shots. Is that my fault?
No.
Not at all, bro.
I had somebody mad at me today, right? Somebody was mad at me today. I'm not going to tell you the results of this situation. Somebody was mad at me today. You know what they were mad about? They said, Machette, I paid you for services and you did not follow through. I said, huh? Explain to me how. Was I supposed? So what? You didn't get what I was supposed to send you? Right. Not only did I send him what he asked for, but I sent him more than what he asked for. Right? Not only that, but he was supposed to mail me something that I was supposed to read and analyze and help him with. But I asked him, I said, did you read anything that I sent you? Did you open it up? Did you look at what I sent to you? How can you complain to me about something? Listen, he didn't read shit and he didn't do shit. And then complain to me that his life was fucked up. Dude, I gave you everything you needed to fix your life, get it set up, and go live however you want to live. I did. Listen, I'm going to tell y'all tonight, as long as you do what I send to you, right, it's not about whether what I say works or not. It's whether you do it or not. You got to read it, understand it, and do it. I'm not like these other dudes. I don't want to be famous. I don't want you to like me. That's not what I'm here for. I'm here to spread the truth. I'm here to teach you the truth. That's it, B. I don't want to get famous. I don't want to have y'all following me for 10 years. What the fuck? Listen. I want to teach you this so you could get out of here. Go do it so that we could be peers. I want all of you people to be running trusts and running your own businesses, and we're supporting each other as peers. That's what I want, to create millionaires and bosses and shit and leaders. That's what I'm trying to do here. I don't want followers. I don't want you following me next year. I don't want 1,000 more followers. 1,000 more followers is 1,000 more confused motherfuckers that I'm going to have to answer questions to that's not really focused. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I'm trying to help y'all now because I have to move on. If I stay here doing this for years, where am I getting? Where am I going to get in life if that's what I do? If that's what I spend my time doing, where am I going to get in life? See? So I can't do this forever, people. I can only teach you this and move on. And I need you to get it so that you could be successful. I don't want to feel like I left people behind when I move on. I don't want to feel like that. So let's get into how to do all of this. Now, that birth certificate trust, if you can't get that out of your mind, if you can't put that to the side for this conversation here, I feel sorry for you. Because it has nothing to do with nothing, son. Seriously. Let me tell you why, right? This is going to be a very cool conversation. I'm going to tell you why right now. Because a private trust hides your identity, right? Because the baptism, right, eliminates the whole person and all of your debt and all. Listen, do it. Right? We send out the baptismal certificates next week. Right? That's what you need first. Okay, cool. But see, the whole thing is you need the baptismal certificate so that you can match that up with the new name, right? The new name is set up with the EIN number so that you can do business as whatever business as name you want to do business as. Whatever business you feel like doing out there, your trust can do business as that business. If you just want that trust to exist and operate like a family trust, or you want people to take care of you, that's your option. Let me explain to you the details of what I just said. Okay? I'm going to explain the details of what I just said. I'm not going to New York y'all, right, and talk fast and you don't know what I really like. I'm trying to get you. No, I'm going to explain what I just said, right? You have options, okay? Right? You can actually go private and be in the private using a trust alone. Because once the trust is established, right, with you as the grantor, right, no one ever sees you again after that. No one ever sees you again after that. And everything that you do in life is in a trust name. Everything you do in life is in a trust name. And you as a man or woman you're free. You're private. Everything is done in a trust name. Nobody's asking you anything. Nobody's sending you any mail. Nobody's calling your phone from the public. All of that's going to the trust. Right? So, now, just creating the private trust alone will make you anonymous. And you will be able to do business in the public with the trust and through the trust simply because you have an EIN number. That is what gives you the ability to interact with the public, right? Okay, now, the reason why I suggest the baptism and or ordainment is because, fine, you can, right, you can disappear and go anonymous, right, using a private trust, but what side are you on? Right. See, so that could work for you, right? But if you're not on the right side, evil will still come for you because you still belong to them. If you have not established what side you're on, right? And here's the deal, right? If you don't establish that you are on God's side, you are on the devil's side by default. So you are claimed as property by default. You are claimed as a slave by default. So you're already on evil side, right? You have to change sides when you create this private trust. That is why I put these two things together. Why did I put these two things together? Because a baptized man, woman, or child is immune from the U.S. jurisdiction or any government jurisdiction, right? A private trust, right, is outside of and above U.S. jurisdiction or any jurisdiction. That is why I combine the two, because not only are you private and protected, but you're on the right side at the same time. Does everyone understand this?
Yes.
I sent out a public notice today because I needed to solidify our temple's position in the public. If you read it, it's very long, but I had to make this note. I had to put this notice out. If you read it, you will understand why everything I just explained, right? As far as the baptism and what side you're on, and every law and statute and scripture that supports what I'm saying, it's in the comment of this public notice. The public notice is like a blog. That blog has a comment underneath it. That comment is an index of all of the authorities that cover what I'm saying to you, right? Now, let me get secure party creditor out of my way and out of my face too. A secure party creditor is a public position. Leave me alone. Leave that alone. Don't talk to me about it. Don't ask me about it. I don't care about that. I'll get into that later, right? Right? Because once you create a private trust, how much, I mean, you don't see that a private trust is higher than sitting in a secure party creditor position? Like you don't see a grantor or a settler is higher than, right? Anyway, look, take those things and put them in the trash. If you can't let go, it's not on me, it's on you. If you can't let go of the birth certificate and the whole, if you can't let go of that stuff, I can only feel sorry for you. But it has nothing to do with what I'm teaching you. Leave me alone with that and leave that alone. Seriously. Now, here's what's next. The baptismal certificate and or the ordination in combination with the private trust, right, provides two forms of security for your life and your family, okay? Right? You have God on your side. You have the protection of a free church, right, and of your beliefs, which none of those things the government crossed the line on. You don't hear priests getting locked up and pulled over and harassed on YouTube all over the place. You do not. And yet, these people that are pushing all this stuff that I don't know how much anybody here has paid these people for this crap, but you're seeing these people get pulled over and harassed all the time. You see, it's amazing. It's amazing. Because what happens is because they made a YouTube, because the police pulled them over, right? And all that, it's exciting, right? It's exciting. It's entertainment, right? That's what's happening in your mind. In your mind, you're being entertained, so you like it, so you pay for it. This guy, right? Listen, do you understand what's going on, right? These guys are getting pulled over and harassed and all that. That means you're doing something wrong, dude. You're doing something wrong. If you even have to make a YouTube because you got pulled over, you're doing something wrong. It's true. It's true. They're doing something wrong simply because they got pulled over. But because it's exciting, it's like an episode of Cops, right? Right? It's like yeah. Yeah, people want to see the CSI. They want to see the, right? So because it's exciting and intriguing, you watch it and don't get the fact that he shouldn't have got pulled over in the first place. You have to let go of this, man. Because, look, I ordained people in 2013, 14, started ordaining people in like 2013, right? What happened was the whole Treasury Direct thing went down, right? And everybody started following that, right? But I ordained people. Now I was ordaining them and freeing them from the system, but they didn't believe they were free, and they and while ordained, they were still doing all of this other birth certificate stuff. And look, hey, right? But the thing is, it's 2018 now. It's like 5 years later, and they're still studying the same stuff, and they still didn't get anywhere. Yet they are ordained and already free. Dumbasses. I cannot help them. I am sorry. Listen, I do not want you, this group here, right? I do not, listen, if I come on Facebook and I see any of you, right, studying the same shit, right, in 3 years, I'm blocking you. I don't want to talk to you. Don't message me or none of that shit. And that's really how I feel like about the last group. I don't talk to, like, whoever's in that group, if they talk to me, I catch them up with where we at now. You know what I'm saying? And whoever is still following me, that's been with me the whole time and stayed on the train, I'm proud of you. But I'm not doing this no more, yo. Because I can't stay here with y'all. I can't stay on Facebook, son. It's retarded. I'm not doing that. All right? It's not a journey if you're sitting on a rock. It's not an adventure if you're sitting still. I have to move. I have to be moving the train. I have to go. I'm headed somewhere. Facebook is a stop. So I have to teach you guys all of this stuff before we leave the station, son. And you're either on the train or you're not, but we can't stay here, son. That's what I'm saying. It's what I'm saying, okay? I'm not staying here doing this with y'all forever.
Thank you.
Get that birth certificate, Cestui Que Vi shit out of your head now. Put it to the side, or you're not going to be able to understand what I'm explaining to you. You don't need it. Let me say to you next. The next thing I'm going to say to you, you can even write this down and say Machette said it. You don't need it. You don't need it. You want to know why, too? Let me explain something. These people, these rich people, they're watching you. They see you. They see you doing this. They see you in these groups and putting these comments up and asking these questions and all this, and they see your little posts and all that, and you know what's happening? They're laughing at you. You want to know why they're laughing at you? Because they are buying houses and cars and and buildings and shit, and they're not using money. They're not using money at all. They're watching you guys fight and scratch your way. I try to claw your way out of a 100-foot hole with no rope and no ladder. They're watching you, laughing at you, because they know that it's not that hard to get money. They know that it's not that hard to be free. They know that you don't have to jump through hoops of fire to live okay. And they're living okay and laughing at you. We're watching you do this. It's not necessary. It's not necessary. They're sending you to the devil's throne to ask for permission to be free. Do you have any idea how dangerous that is? This is crazy, man. This is crazy. So listen, right? Listen. The private trust, right? Here we go, right? The private trust is something that it's a broad term. So let me minimize that. Let me break that down for you guys because this is confusing too. There's so much confusion out there. I'm going to clear all of it up right now, okay? First of all, that birth certificate trust, Cestui Que Vi Trust, is not private at all. It wasn't created by anyone good. God had nothing to do with that. So, fuck it. Okay? Okay? All right? Okay? I don't want nothing to do with that. Now, common law trust, right? They call it all types of names for them. A private trust, a common law trust, they are talking about the same thing. You guys with me? A private trust, a common law trust, when they talk about irrevocable trust, when they say that, okay, they're talking about the same thing. Okay, there's only when it comes to public and private, trusts are only separated into two categories: statutory, right, and non-statutory. But statutory and non-statutory is actually public and private, okay? A statutory trust, right, is a trust that is created by the state. You get permission from the state to start your trust, you set up your trust, you get the EIN number for that trust, and, you operate it just like a corporation. Statutory trust. File your forms, pay your taxes, statutory trust. Okay? We're also not talking about those. We're not talking about the Cestui Que Vi Trust here, and we're not talking about statutory trust here. Now, the reason why I separate the Cestui Que Vi Trust from statutory trust is because I'm separating the Cestui Que Vi Trust from statutory business trust. But everything on the side is public and statutory, secular, okay, right? None of those things are what I'm talking about tonight. Okay, do we have, can one individual say we have that clear?
We got that clear.
Clear.
Okay, man, okay. Now, the private trust that we're discussing now, I'm going to break it down into the segments that I teach it in, okay? So, when you are baptized, right, and you receive your new name from God, right, please pray, ask Him what your new name is, ask Him if the new name you came up with is okay. I don't know how you do it, but make sure God has something to do with what you're doing, right? Ask Him, hey, Dad, is this cool? Or, hey, Dad, what do you think I should be called after I do this? I'm saying, talk to him, right? Okay. Now, after you do that, you have your new name, right? Which is the law. Okay, there's God's law that supports this. Okay, when you're baptized, God gives you a new name. You receive your white stone, blah blah blah, etc., etc. It's in our law book. Okay, right? That is why you are able to change your name through the baptism, because it is in Scripture and because that is our law. Okay? It's the only law that there is, really. We're not going to get into that. I'm going to stick this trust thing. Okay? Now, you can become baptized, right? Right? And go live in mountains. You can go do that. You can have nothing to do with the public if you so desire, right? But most of us have to interact with, do business with, and we have to be in the public. And even Jesus, he had to go outside, man. You got to go outside, man, right? So, in order to interact with them, you're going to need that entity to do it with. because in the public it's all about entities, right? Okay? It's all about entities. Even as you walk around right now, the only reason you're able to do what you do is because you have an invisible entity with you that is your past. Okay? Now, you don't want that entity with you because it is negative. It is a negative entity, so you are to remove it. But how do I operate in the public, Machette, without that entity? Right? Okay, right. When you're ordained or baptized, right, you from God, that comes from God, okay? So now, when you create the private trust, that is through this new man or woman, right, that has been reborn through God. So, in doing so, you are exercising one of God's powers and you are creating a positive entity, your first positive entity. This is a sacred thing, okay? You're doing something that only God does. You're creating a positive entity. Respect it, please. Do not play around with this. If you're here in this class, right, and if you're learning about private trust because you're trying to get out of something or because you're chasing the money, right, something wrong's going to happen to you, yo. It's not about what I'm going to do or what I'm not going to do or how I feel about, what your intentions are. God knows what you're doing, right? And so if your intentions are foul, it's going to go wrong for you, period. I can't help you. Nobody can help you for playing around with something sacred like that. Now, moving on. In order to operate in the public, in order for this new entity to operate in the public for you, just like your old one was, it's going to need a number, EIN number. And it's really simply just for banking purposes, but I'm not going to get into that. I'm not going to get into that yet, right? So that's why you get the EIN number for the new name trust, right? It's a new name trust. But this is only the first private trust you are going to create. Are y'all listening to me?
Yeah.
The first private trust you are going to be creating is for the name, the new baptized name, right? Now, just the way you were operating in the public before, it's an entity with a number, right? You can do the same thing with this new trust. You just have to know how to operate it. You have to know how to do it. That's it, right? Because look, in your previous life is what I'll call it. In your previous life, you had a trust, you had a tax identification number or a business identification number, whatever you want to call it, right? You had a number attached to that trust so that you could go to school. You could fill out an application for school. So that you could go to the doctor. So that you could get medical insurance. So that you could get a job. So that you could get an apartment. So that you can, right? So you can start a business, right? And all of that. That's what you needed, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Why is the new trust with the new tax ID number any different? Can anyone tell me what makes them think or how it is that new trust with the new EIN number is different than the old one, and why you couldn't use the new trust to go to school or get a job or get a loan or anything? Can anyone tell me?
Because we took the private, the public school education.
Well, see, right, I understand, right? I understand, and based on your answer, you're right. But that question was that, or let me just say, right? The point of my question is that there is no difference. You can do the same. Look, a trust is a trust. A corporation is a corporation. Same rules apply for one trust that apply for another trust, unless they're separate, unless they're secular, and unless they're statutory and non-statutory, right? But all private trusts, right? This is the thing, and all businesses, right? In the public, if you have an identification number, you can do what anyone else can, right? Okay. Now here's the whole thing with why that is freedom for you. It's freedom for you because they say that you can't buy or sell or anything without a number and number and the card and the mark and all of that and all that shit. That's what they say, right? That's what they be saying. But listen, right? You don't have it anymore. You have a trust with the EIN number. You are unmarked. Guess what? You don't need to make purchases and buy or sell or any of that, right? Because all of this is free for you. You need to send your entity out there to get it for you. Huh? Yeah. You need trustees to go out there and operate your trust and get whatever you need for you. You know how they get stuff? I'm gonna go extreme. Let's say one of these rich guys with the trust, they need a helicopter. They need to travel somewhere. Cars, traffic, and all that. They need a helicopter. You know what they're gonna do? They're getting their cell phone and they're gonna say, "Hey, trustee, I need a chopper." You know what's gonna happen? The trustee's gonna make sure that he gets a chopper so he can do what he needs to do. That's what trustees are for. I'm unplugged.
Yes.
Nobody can hear.
I can't hear you.
Can you hear?
I can
Yeah,
hear you.
they can hear me now.
I can hear you.
What was the last thing I said? What was the last thing y'all heard?
Nothing. I mean, I heard.
Okay.
But
Oh, no, it's cool. It's cool.
like,
It's cool.
Like Charlie
It's cool.
Brown. Okay.
Nah, it's cool. I'm gonna explain to you now. Okay, no problem. I can say that again.
I heard chopper.
It's cool. What they're gonna do is they're gonna get on their cell phone and they're gonna say, "Hey, trustee, I need a chopper," and that trustee is gonna make sure that he gets what he needs. When he's hungry, we need some food. We need I need a car. I need a ride. Send me a car. That's what operating the trust works like.
Yes.
You don't have to do. Listen, that's free. Okay, that is free. No mail coming to you. No phone calls from the public coming to you. None of those bills or debts and that. None of that is in your name. That's free. Having a private trust set up where your trustees handle that, and all of the mail comes to the trust, the bills come to the trust, and the trustees handle all of that, and you set up the indenture so that they know how to do it. And listen, that's free. Nobody's asking you any questions. The trust is on all this paperwork. Nobody even knows who you are. Do y'all understand this? Do y'all understand what I'm saying so far?
Yes, sir.
All right, so let's talk about trust setup now. Let's talk about private trust setup now, because this is part of the confusion too. There's people that have come to me, and when I talk to them about trust, they're like, "Oh, I have a trust. I have a trust. I have a trust. I have an authenticated birth certificate. I am ready to go. What's next, Machette?" And I'm like, "What? Okay. First of all, right? You're not supposed to say I have a trust, because if I was shiesty, I could say that there's a trust in operation, and I know who the grantor is. Now we can take the trust apart, B. Listen, really. That's all the IRS is waiting for somebody to say my trust. There are paid people out there going to bars to have drinks, going to clubs, going to games, just to hear people listen for people saying stuff like this. You don't believe me, but it's a profession. The IRS works harder than you. And you will say my trust, you will say I have a trust, and forget about it.
Wow. Interesting.
So what would be the jargon you could use? I mean, you definitely want to say that, but how would you? You obviously would have new jargon.
You operate a trust, you operate a trust, you manage a trust. I mean, you know what I'm saying? This is all, you know what I mean? Like English, you know how to change it and say something else. Like when you lie, when somebody asks you something, you got to like take a second real quick to look up in the air and think about how you're going to say it a different way. Yeah, do that and say it a different way.
Okay.
Because they will take everything you got. They'll take everything you got, everything that you wanted your kids to get, everything you worked for, just because you said the wrong thing.
How will they do that?
How?
They'll know you're they'll know you are the grantor, right?
Say my trust. Say I have a trust, and let them click a picture of you, right?
Yeah, and they know who you are.
Or let them get your picture or the video feed from the camera. All they gotta do is facial recognition you and pull everything. I pull all your shit up now, right now, without your face. All of y'all. It's not funny how they do this. It's serious out here. And if you're talking to me, that means you want to get out of it. So please listen and don't get into it. You're listening to people that are gonna get you deeper into this. And it's like going against what I'm doing for you. And then and it's like I don't want y'all to suffer when you didn't have to. So let me continue the conversation. All right. So you got the baptismal certificates, you got the private trust set up. Here's the important thing. In order for a private trust to be real, right? In order for it to be real, in order for you to say that you operate or manage a trust, or you can say you had a trust set up, you can say that. But to say that to me, right, and to not have the things that I'm saying that I'm about to tell you set up, you're bullshitting. Anyone that says that they have a trust, you know they're making a mistake because they said it, right? Okay. But here's what it takes for a trust to be real, a private trust to be real. A private trust needs a beneficiary, a trustee, and a grantor. It also needs a protector. Let me tell you why every private trust needs a protector. The protector is the judge. Your private trust is like setting up a kingdom. If the trustees or the beneficiaries or anybody has a dispute within your kingdom and there is no protector, which is the judge, the mediator, you need a protector as part of your trust to mediate in case any of you argues about anything. Because if you don't have a protector, which is a judge, then the state is going to step in and be the judge for your trust if they find out about the dispute. So you need a grantor. You need I'm sorry. Let me clear up some more confusion because the confusion is deep. A trustor, a grantor, and a settler are all the same individual.
The settler, right?
They're all the same. The settlers, the grantor, the trustor, they're all the same, okay? So they're all the same dudes, man. All right? So now the grantor, the beneficiary, the trustee, and the protector, okay? You need those people in place already and on paper before you can say anything about having a trust set up or managing a trust or operating a trust. If those things are not in place, you are lying. You're bullshitting me. Okay? Right? Now, also, for a trust to be real, it has to, you're creating an entity, right? It has to be made of something. It has to be made of something. This creation, this is serious. When God created us, He gave us blood and bones and flesh. He did that. We're made of something. That's what makes us real, is because we're made of something, right? Okay, the private trust is an entity that has to be made of something in order for it to be real. So, that is called the trust corpus. The trust corpus is what is the, how can I say, it's the
body.
Body.
Yes, but in terms of business, it is the money deposited into, right, okay. In that case, it is that you have to deposit something into the, it's an empty body, it's an empty vessel. You have to put something in it to bring it to life. Now, with a private trust, you can use anything to bring a private trust to life. But this is your entity that you're going to be carrying, that's going to be, operating for you in the public and the private, right? So I will say to you, you can go to the grocery store and pay $4 for a bag of apples and say, look, I'm going to put this bag of apples into the trust. That's what I'm going to start the trust with, a bag of 12 apples, right? You can do that. You can say, I'm going to put this 10 pieces of bond paper into the trust, and that's what you can do that if you want to. But please understand that you're going out there with an entity. You're going up against other entities now. Oh, my God. You're going up against all of the evil entities out there. You're going up against other entities in the private that are competition for you, right? And you're going to go out there with a trust that's made of apples. You're going to go out there with a trust that's made of paper. Listen, look, you are supposed to put an ounce of silver into the private trust in order to bring it to life, okay? Silver is real money. Silver gives you equitable interest in anything. I don't care if you pay for a car, a house, put an ounce of silver into it. That gives you more power over that property than anyone else. Because the only one that put money into it. Okay, so now you have the baptismal certificate. You guys listening? You have the baptismal certificate. You have the private trust. And let me explain how this works. The private trust has two main documents. Are you guys here? Are you here? You guys here? Are you listening? Hey. Right. The private trust has two main documents. It has the trust indenture, which should be at least 48 pages, or you're bullshitting. And there's the Declaration of Trust, okay? The Declaration of Trust is the Declaration of Trust can also be called random, right? So don't get confused and think that they're two different documents. They're the same freaking document, okay? The Declaration of Trust and the memorandum are short versions of the trust indenture, okay? The trust indenture is never seen by anyone other than the members of the trust. Okay? Nobody sees that. Nobody ever sees that except you. Now, the Declaration of Trust is supposed to be put on public notice. The Declaration of Trust is what anyone sees. You have to set up a bank account. They're going to want to see the declaration. You have a situation with I don't know, with court or something. Listen, they need to see the declaration. That's what the declaration is for the public to see, so that they know that a trust exists. You with me?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, you have your baptismal certificate, you have your private trust declaration, right, at this point, and you have your EIN number at this point, right?
Could you repeat that? I'm sorry.
You have your baptismal certificate, you have your declaration of private trust, you have your trust indenture, and you have your EIN number. At this point, we talked about those things. I'm going to get into the EIN number now. Right? The reason why you get an EIN number for the private trust is so that you can open up a bank account and so that you can get business credit. Because your entity needs to build credit. You're not doing it anymore. You don't want nothing to do with that whole system. Am I not right?
You're right.
All right, so you're building up business credit. And your credit out there in the public, they're checking the trust credit, man. Boy. Okay, so, all right. Hey.
Sorry, okay.
All right.
Got a question.
All right, go ahead.
So you said the declaration of trust is required when you open a bank account?
Yes, they're going to ask you for it. If they don't, you're not lucky.
Oh, okay.
It's the only thing that proves that the trust exists. So that's like them okay. As a man, when you in your previous life, in order to prove who you were or that you existed or that you had to show them your birth certificate. They wanted to see that, right? All right. Well, the private trust being a new positive entity that you created, the declaration of private trust is like the trust birth certificate.
Yeah.
Okay? So, when you want to do business in the public with your private trust, they want to see that you're really who you say you are. So, you need a piece of paper to match with it. You get it? So, the entity needs the declaration to prove that it exists in the public. That declaration of private trust has to be registered, put on public notice, sealed, recorded. Hey, look, I'll get into that later, right?
Cool.
Now, here's where it gets tricky at. To do this properly, you have to set up 4 trusts. 4 private trusts have to be set up in order for you to do this properly. Now, I'm going to explain a simplified version of this for you now. The simplified version of it is that you can take the new name private trust and you can do business as any business that you want to do business as. And you can also choose to do business with a doing business as name. So, the new name trust that you set up will now be doing business as the business name. So now the public only knows of the business name because the only thing that's going on paperwork is that business name. You're gone. Does everyone understand what I'm saying so far?
Yeah.
Yes. Only thing goes on paperwork is
private trust. Okay, the private trust is a business.
Right.
A trust is a business. You're putting trustees and you're putting these trustees in place because they have to operate the trust for you. It's a business. Now, because you have an EIN number for this new trust, the new trust is what is considered as the business. So, if you do not set up a doing business as name, and your name is, and your new baptismal name is John the Coolest Doe, right? Your business would be John the Coolest Doe. Your name will be out there now. Your name will be out there now. No, your name will be out there now.
Okay. It should not match, right?
You see what I'm saying? You don't want anybody to, you're trying to disappear. You want to go private. You don't want your name out in the public anymore. So stop doing that. You see what I'm saying? In order to stop doing that, you create the new private trust in the new baptismal name, and you set up a doing business as name, right? Whatever your business is whatever your business dreams and goals are, now you can set it up with this EIN number, doing business as whatever your business name is. Then your name, the new baptismal name, disappears from the public. Do you understand that so far?
Yeah.
That is the simplest version of doing this.
Sort of.
Let
And
me
people-
explain. Go ahead.
People in your circle can call you by your new baptismal name, but the public knows you as the DBA name. Or not know you, but
Right, because the
Working
public
as-
doesn't. Right,
Yeah.
because
okay.
you don't have to talk to anybody in the public if you don't want to. So I'm not even considering
Right.
that.
Okay.
I'm considering the fact that you're doing business in the public with the trust, right? I think because if I speak about you doing business as the man or woman, that is you being an ordained or baptized child of God, which is different. So I'm not going to get into that because I know how easy people can get confused. So I'm not talking about that. I'm going to only talk about the private trust now, how to set it up and how to operate it so that you guys could get it. I mean, this is going to be recorded so you can listen to it again. If you're recording it now or taking notes, you are the greatest of all time. But I'm going to explain this right now because I'm so done. I have to move on. Seriously. So, right? Okay, now, I got up. The last thing I mentioned was doing business as name. Here's the deal. You have the baptismal certificate for yourself, but you don't have to use that, in the public at all. So now, we are only considering at this point the declaration of private trust, the EIN number, and the doing business as name. Are you with me so far?
Mm-hmm.
Here's the deal. Once the grantor sets up the trustees in position, the grantor does not do anything after that. You do not sign any papers. You do not go to see anyone. Okay? The trustees do that. So when it comes to setting up the trust bank account, if you show up at the bank, you are a fool because now the bank knows who the grantor is.
Yeah.
If you think the bank is not teamed up, with the IRS, you're an idiot.
Yeah.
So being the grantor and going to the bank to set up a bank account as the grantor, right? Whoever taught you that wants you to go to jail and wants everything to be taken from you. Okay? The trustees set up the bank account.
The trustee sets up the bank account.
Okay? Right? The trustees use the declaration of trust. They use the EIN number. They use their appointments to do the job. They have to be appointed to do the banking, right? And there has to be a signature card because they have to be appointed and their signatures have to be approved for banking documents so that they can do stuff for the trust. Are you with me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now, so far, we just discussed the name change, the status change, and the citizenship change. Just now, already. Because when you are baptized and you receive your new name, that is your name change. When you are baptized, you are now a child of God, and that is the change of your status. You are no longer considered as a person. Do you understand?
Yes.
Does everyone understand the name change and the status change so far? Do you understand that being a child of God, being ordained, do you understand that as a status?
Yeah.
Do you understand that standing behind your religious beliefs is a status in society?
Yes, it is.
It's a status.
Mm-hmm.
It's a status.
Yep.
Okay. Okay, let me explain to you what the status is. I'm sorry, I didn't use the right words. Being a believer is a status.
I'm a believer. I am a believer.
Seriously. Your new status is a believer. You are not a Christian. You are not a... Listen, son, listen. I'm going to say this again. Christ didn't tell anyone he was Christ, nor did he tell anyone to be Christian.
Right.
Okay?
That's right.
He didn't tell anyone to be religious. He didn't tell anyone to pick a group. He did not only talk to one group of people because they were the ones that followed him. He did not do that. He talked to everyone around the world. Being a Christian is stupid. It's another trick that the Vatican made up, right? The devil told the Vatican, listen, this is how I want this to be set up. I want you to, right? So don't listen. All of the religions, none of them are right.
Yeah.
All religions are an abomination because all of us are supposed to be brothers and sisters, the whole world. That's what it's supposed to be. And not only that, but there are other worlds with male and female that have been created by God. All of us, even those on other worlds that you might not even believe in, are your brothers and sisters too.
That's right. It's one world. Yeah.
So you're not Christian by following Christ. You're just following Christ. You're a believer. I believe him. I tried the shit that he said, and it works. I'm a believer. That somebody was sent here that cared about us enough and cared about God enough that he sacrificed himself because he stood by that. I believe that there was at least one individual here that did that. I believe. I'm a believer. I believe that. That's what I am. That's all you are. You don't have to be anything other than a believer. And guess what? Being a believer is the strongest thing you can be. Being a believer out there in society is a stronger status than being a Christian. You want to know why? Because to the law, they know that Christians belong to them. Let me say this again. In public, in society, they know that Christians belong to them. That is why being a believer is a stronger status, is a more powerful status than being a believer is free. A Christian is a slave. Ooh, write that down. A believer is free. A Christian is a slave. A believer is free. A Muslim is a slave. I said it. Where y'all at? I said it.
I believe it.
Give a fuck what religion it is. If you are part of a secular religion, you are a slave. All you need to do is believe that somebody was here, cared about us, and sacrificed himself for us. He could be called. He's called Jesus in Puerto Rico. In Africa, who knows what they call him? It's not about his name. I believe that God sent somebody here to take care of us. You know what I'm saying? I believe that. That's all you need to be. So, let's move on. Now, we just covered status change, name change, right? Let's cover citizenship.
I can barely get it.
Let's cover citizenship now. We're going to cover citizenship now, right? Your citizenship has changed simply because the United States, you ready? Is everyone listening? The United States is a corporation. Its territory is the District of Columbia. That is a 10 square mile radius, okay? Anything outside of the District of Columbia is foreign.
Everybody that's in your class already put that.
You guys, you listening? Anything outside of the United States is the District of Columbia.
Mm-hmm.
No. I'm sorry. For all those taking notes, and listening, no, that's not correct. The United States is the company, and the District of Columbia is its property.
10 mile radius.
The reason why I'm saying it like that, the reason why I'm saying it like that is because the United States Incorporated, I'm comparing it to Walmart, okay? The White House, the Pentagon, the White House is Walmart. The Walmart parking lot, that's the District of Columbia. Listen to what I'm saying to you. The District of Columbia is the United States parking lot. The United States military is the United States security guards, son. They're Walmart security guards. Son, I'm not playing with y'all.
Right.
And they made you believe that, listen, it's crazy. It's so crazy. It's so crazy.
Right.
Because what happened was you realized that Walmart has a building. You realized that Walmart has a parking lot, right? And you realize that no one lives there, right? Okay. Nobody lives. So crazy. This is so crazy. So they are able to exist within a 10 square mile radius and have everybody outside of that territory working for them.
No, I'm crazy.
So they are claiming that because you work for them, your citizenship is of their territory. That's what they're saying, yo. They're saying that a citizen is a slave. So they're saying that your citizenship is to the United States.
Corporation.
All right. Now, do you know what's interesting about corporations in the United States and them saying you work for them? If they are a corporation, and you work for them, and you want to be free,
You gotta quit.
You can, yes, you can quit. You can take their ID and you can throw it in the garbage. You can take the little Walmart vest and you can toss it in the parking lot somewhere and you can drive off. You can. Nobody can tell you can't do that. And when somebody comes up to you and says, hey, I know you. You work at Walmart. You're like, nah, I don't work at Walmart, son. I don't work there no more. You know what I mean? I don't work. You bugging, right? And they're like, nah, no. I saw you. I remember you. You're a Walmart worker. You're like, dude, like, son, I used to work there, but I don't work there no more. Why is everyone afraid to say that about the United States? Because their security guards scare the shit out of you. Is that what it is? Is that what it is? No, I want to know. And then if the security guards scare the shit out of you, let me ask you something, right? Can a Walmart security guard approach you in Target and tell you what to do?
No.
Wow.
Only if you're employed.
That is wild, son. No, hey, listen. If you and it's so crazy. And once you leave Walmart's territory, I will punch. Listen, son. Listen. First of all, I punch a Walmart security guard in the face of Walmart. That's my word. But to try to tell me to do something outside of Walmart, oh my God, I will choke you out, God. I will choke him out. I will choke a Walmart security guard out for trying to tell me what to do. And so will you be offended. You will be offended with a Walmart security guard walking up to you trying to tell you what to do and you didn't do nothing wrong. How are you going to treat that Walmart security guard?
Get out of here.
But you'll let a police officer or a soldier or anybody or any of their security guards manhandle you.
Do the same thing.
Are you partially serious? Are you even partially serious? Listen, if A is a corporation and B is a corporation, same rules apply.
Yeah.
Same rules apply. If this employee for this company is over here on the side as A, and then we have employee B that works for another company over here, Same rules apply. He can quit. He can quit. He could get a promotion. He could get a promotion. He could work his way up to the top and become president. He can work his way up to the top. Yes. Yes. Now, here's the thing, right? Here's the thing, because we're talking about citizenship now, right? Okay, so here's the deal, right? The kingdom of heaven, it's the first kingdom. It's the first kingdom that ever existed. The public acknowledges this. The government acknowledges this. They know the kingdom of heaven. They know God's kingdom. They know this. They have beef with us since the beginning.
Right.
So when you are baptized and or ordained, you automatically become a citizen of the kingdom of God. They know this.
Got a question.
It is very real. Ask away.
So once you become a follower, is that a good word to say? Or
A believer? Go on.
a believer? My bad. What happened? So you just abandon the old entity?
Yes, you can. Yes.
You don't gotta file any paperwork or nothing. Just
You have what? They ask you to give. They ask you to give them a what's that 2-week notice or that a letter of resignation. They say that they want you to do it, but when you quit, do you like? Come on, son, I'm just quitting. You pissed me off today. I'm quitting now. Like,
Yeah.
FOH with that. Like, I don't have to file. Listen. That's the whole thing, right? If you say I quit. If you're at your job, whoever has a job right now, and you say, I quit, and you start walking out, and one of them comes up to you and grabs your shirt and starts pulling you back in the building, what happens next? Right. Can nobody tell you can't quit? You can't walk away.
you're gonna get a brown eye.
Nobody could tell you that. It's you're scared. You are all scared. Everyone is scared. Right? But I'm telling you that they're tricking you into being afraid when they are really afraid of you. The reason why they're making you afraid is because they're afraid of you. Yep. The reason why they're tricking you into being scared of them is because they're scared of you. Why are they scared of you?
You might turn others.
You have more power than them, man.
They need your
One
energy.
of us has more power than all
And
of
they
them.
need your energy.
One of us with God behind us has more power than all of them. They don't want you to know or believe that, son.
They don't want you to know that.
And so, but guess what? As much as we're sitting here saying this, you're all fucking scared.
Well,
Yeah, all these people. Now look, you guys are of the bravest. I will say that. Everybody else is scared. Everybody else out there is scared out of their mind.
And their mind.
Y'all wouldn't be here. You wouldn't be here without courage.
Sure wouldn't.
You wouldn't be here without balls. You wouldn't be here without determination. You wouldn't be here without hope. You wouldn't be here without faith. You wouldn't be here without patience. I made you wait till the end till I talked about private trust.
Yeah.
But guess why else you're here? You're here because you're scared. And you want to know how to make them leave you alone. Demons are scary. Let me tell you that demons are scary. I'm telling you that it's pretty spooky out there. It is spooky out there. I'm telling you things that are only decimal fractions of how crazy it really is out there. I'm just preparing you so that you can go out there into the crazy and be safe. Right? So now, we covered name, status, citizenship change. These are all covered by, there's laws, there's so many laws and covering this that it's not even funny. So what I'm saying to you is legal, lawful. You just changed your name, status, and citizenship lawfully, okay? I do not, listen, man, there's no other way. They're not going to accept these other ways. Move to Africa, change your citizenship like that. Come back. They'll consider you as foreign. You're not, right? There's another way to do that. But if you're here, if you were born here and you live here and you're not going anywhere, and you want to not be a citizen of the United States, the kingdom of heaven is the only other place you can go, son.
Yep.
If you're not moving to Spain, the kingdom of heaven is the only other place you can go, son. Seriously. Okay, now let's get into operating in the public. All right, we're going to do this real fast. Operating in the public, we already covered. You need an EIN number for that. You can open up a bank account. You can get an apartment in a trust name. You can get a house in a trust name. You can get jewelry in a trust name. You can go to the grocery store in a trust name. You can, but being baptized, oh my God, being baptized or ordained, I will tell you about that later. But right now we're talking about the trust. So you can do all of these things in the public. You can get a car. You can start a business. Let me tell you something else. Has anyone started a business in the past?
Yes.
Okay.
No.
No.
You
Yeah.
So
Well, yeah, kind of. Yeah.
Okay.
Vending machine business.
Did you guys ever get EIN numbers for these businesses?
I have
Yes.
2. I
Yeah.
have 3, I'm sorry.
3? Okay. Do you know what you did? Do you know what happened? You know
Well,
that
I just created 3 entities, right?
Right.
Okay.
You know that a trust created corporations, right?
Right.
Oh, no.
You didn't start businesses. This is how I have to clear this up. I have to break. I have to break this glass.
Okay, now what?
Yeah. Okay, now what? What happened? Say that again. What? Listen. Your all capital letter name set up that business. You used your social security number to get that tax ID number, right?
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So a trust created a
The
corporation.
trust did it. Okay, got you.
That also means that a trust can create a trust. No?
Right. They have that option on the IRS website. They ask you.
That's right. I'm clapping my hands for some fucking body right now. I'm clapping my hands.
Thank you.
Listen, because once you have this private trust in the public, operating in the public, it can create corporations, because we don't do corporations and stuff. I'm just letting you know.
Yeah.
I'm just letting you know what's possible. You can create corporations. You can create other trusts out there. You can get bank accounts. You can get apartments, houses, all in the trust name. Mind you, this is the trust operating in the public. Your hands did not touch nothing yet after you got baptized. Are you listening to me?
I'm listening.
You didn't sign any contracts with evil after becoming baptized. You know the trustees are doing that for you in the trust name. You just gonna live. You just go live in the crib. The trustees handle getting the house for you. They handle taking care of the bills when they come to the trust address. If you need a car, they handle the car paperwork and how to get. They handle that for you, and you just go get your car. Y'all not listening to me, man.
I'm listening to you, but okay. So
Basically, whatever you do now, it's the exact same thing.
Yes, but no. But okay.
No, but you're saying a trustee does it. You're saying a trustee does it instead of us doing it. But all I'm saying is whatever you can do right now, you can do with a trust.
Yes,
exactly
I'm
who would be a good?
Go ahead.
Who would be a good trustee? I mean,
Somebody you trust.
You trust.
Well, yes, but I know, but it has to be someone willing to do it and someone who gets paid to do it. Obviously, I'm not going to just do it for free.
Right.
You yourself would become a trustee.
I didn't get to that part yet.
Okay.
I'm doing this in order
question.
because I don't want people to be confused anymore. So I'm going to explain this in order.
Yeah, but in that 48 pages, you would have all that set up, though, right, Mike?
Yes, you would.
Right. As far as the pay rate for the
like
trustee, beneficiaries, everything.
I hear everybody's curiosity about. I hear the curiosity about money and getting paid. It's starting to creep out on me. I'm not there yet. I'm really close. I'm really close to telling y'all how to make millions of dollars. Just let me get to it.
Yeah!
Let me get to it. All right? So now, right? Here's the deal. Everything that I said to you just so far, you listening?
Yeah.
Rich people know all this shit already.
Right.
These rich
I'm
people,
getting there.
they know all this shit already, man. And they have chosen not most of them. I'm not gonna say that. I'm gonna say some and some. When I say some and some, that excludes me from making judgment. Even though Scripture says that it is easier for a camel to walk through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to walk into the gates of heaven. But hey, I wasn't the guy who wrote that, and I'm no judge. So I'm going to say some rich people know this shit already, man. And they have chosen, all rich people know this shit already, or they wouldn't be rich. But some of them have chosen to not be baptized or ordained. They have anything to do with God, right?
Yeah.
So they chose to create private trust. They chose to create private trust and do everything that I'm saying without the baptism or the ordination. Okay? So, as far as operating and having a private trust working for you and everything, these rich people know all this shit already. They're laughing at you.
Is that what they call shell account?
What's that word?
Shell account.
A shell account.
No.
A shell account. Well, a shell account can be. That's a very broad term too. But I'm gonna get into banking in a second. Okay. I'm gonna make sure to mention that when I talk about banking. Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna get to that in a second. All right. So they know all of this already, and they're laughing at you. Let me tell you why. You want access to this birth certificate because there's money in it for you, and you need money, right? Can't do shit in this world without money, right? I understand.
Yeah.
I understand completely. Internet service just went off the other day. Drove me crazy. Had to fix it, right?
That's not funny.
No, it's fucking funny. Oh, no, I'm laughing with you. That's not funny. That was, listen. Yes. Okay. All right. Yes, it is. Now, mind you, you can laugh. It's okay. Listen, right? Because we're all going to be millionaires in a couple months. So we can all laugh about this. We can all laugh about this day right now. Because if you don't get it after this, okay. I don't know. I don't give a shit. I'm not explaining it again. I have things to do. Right? Okay. Now, right? Here's the deal. You have your private trust. You have your trust, your business idea, right? You have your EIN number. Let me explain something to you, right? The smartest business, the most advised and suggested business to get into when you create a private trust is real estate.
Come on.
The reason is because it's real estate. It's because it's real estate. It's an estate. It's real estate. A trust is an estate, and an estate is a stake. And so if you want to get involved in trust and you don't run into estates and real estate, somebody's teaching you wrong. If you have a private trust and you want to set up your trust in your family and you want them to be trust babies, you're going to do that in your apartment? You're going to do that in a 2-bedroom house?
You do it in the state.
You need land, people. You need a big house or maybe a few houses on some land. You know how that's possible? Either you have to get ass raped by a real estate agent or you have to get into real estate yourself. As a trust, the most profitable business and the most promising business to get into is real estate. Now, let me tell you why. This is the part where I need your ears and I need your pens and paper. I know you guys have been using them so far. Whoever hasn't, use them when you listen to the recording. But here's the deal with that. Okay, let me take my deep breath and get ready to explain this. These people, these rich people, they're laughing at you because the reason why you're chasing this birth certificate, the reason why you're chasing all of this is because you want to get to the money. It's mine, right? It's mine. It belonged to me, right? I earned it, right? It's my name on it, right? Right? That's what you're doing all this shit for.
You're trying to get that inheritance, guys.
These other people are, you know what's silly about that whole inheritance thing? Didn't God tell you that all this shit is yours? Didn't he tell you that the earth is yours? So what are you trying to get out of this account when the whole world is yours? See, that's how you know it's a trick.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, you want to claim your inheritance, right? Your inheritance is yours, right? Listen, you inherited. If you are a believer, then you are entitled to everything that the covenant of Abraham was promised. Look, the promise to Abraham's seed is what your inheritance is. You're not listening to me. You're not listening to me. You don't hear me. Take that inheritance that these guys are teaching y'all about, that these guys are preaching and these gurus are talking about inheritance, and compare it to checking the Bible and reading Abraham and what God promised to Abraham and all his children. Please. Okay? And realize that all of this is ours. When Christ left, he left us a planet to take care of, to be responsible for, and we are fucking that up.
Big time.
Okay, because it's all ours. Guess what? If you said that, or if you stated that, or made a declaration of such and presented it to the public, they would give you that. Well, go, take it. Shit. We care. Hey, right? She just brought up all the bitches. She just brought up the big triple, quadruple, 3,000 OG on us. There is no one more gangster than God and Christ. It just can't happen. God is like the boss of all bosses. I'm from Queens. I know about bosses. Things happen to people. I know that God is my boss and I work for him, and when he's pissed, entire cities, things happen too. Right? So God's the biggest boss, okay? Right? right? And then Christ is like his right-hand man, okay? I decided to join the most gangsterous mob that there is, okay? Here's the deal. They respect that. I want you to know that they respect that out there. Don't be afraid of this. That's what gets you, that's the key to your freedom. Now, let's get back to how this works with the trust, okay? So, now, real estate. Okay, they're laughing at you. Why are they laughing at you? Because you know what you're thinking? When I say get into real estate, you got to get into real estate. They're like, I don't have no money to invest in real estate. We need money. How am I investing in real estate? I don't have money to buy a house. I don't want to get a loan. I'm already in debt. I don't understand, Machette. What are you talking about? That's what everybody's thinking. My credit is fucked up, Machette. I'm not going to be able to invest in no real estate. That's what you're all thinking. That's what you're all thinking.
I'm not thinking that.
They're laughing at you for thinking that. You want to know why they're laughing at you for thinking that? Because first of all, they're not using their credit. They're using business credit. They're using business credit. Okay? So they're watching you say, my credit is shot. I can't get a car. I can't get a house. I'm not going to be able to get an apartment when all you have to do is set up a trust and get an EIN number. Wow, they're laughing at you. No, seriously, they're laughing at you. Right? Yeah. Now, you did all of that. You went and sacrificed your freedom to send in this paperwork, which is called paper terrorism. By the way, it has a name. It's called paper terrorism, right? You send all this paperwork to these judges and Secretary of State and all this and all this and all this, right, to get access to money that none of you have yet. It's been, I don't know how many of you have been doing this, but it's been years. People have been rich when you started studying this stuff, and they are rich now, even richer now. And they've been watching you try to get access to this money the whole time, and they're laughing at you. They're drinking their coffee, smoking their blunts, their cigarettes, drinking their wine, whatever, laughing at you. Now I'm going to explain to you why. Because not only is everything being done in the trust name, but it doesn't take money or credit to get a house. Now I'm going to stop for a second. Right? A moment of silence to all of us for being dumbasses in the past, including myself. But they're not using money or credit to get these houses. They are not using. I'm going to tell you right now. They're using paper. They're using pieces of paper. They're using pieces of paper to gain ownership of houses and buildings and cars. Listen. And they're not using their credit. They're not using it. They're not using their business credit. They're not getting loans to do this. No, because you would think that you have to get a loan or something or how. So, Machette, if they're not using any of those things, how are they getting real estate? Yeah. These people are using contracts to get possession of. Listen to what I'm saying to you. They're using contracts to get possession of these properties. These contracts are giving them the ability to either keep them and make payments on the house or to sell it to someone else.
Right, okay.
It's a contract that enables you to take ownership of a property and either keep it and or sell it.
Got it.
They use these contracts for buildings, for houses, and all types of shit, son. They can do that. They can get contracts on. If you can find 12 people that are selling houses in a day and you can email these contracts to these 12 people, you can have 12 houses in a day. Pick one to live in and sell sell the other 11 contracts to other people and make $1 million. Listen to what I'm saying to you. They're selling these contracts. They're getting these contracts for these properties, and then they're selling them to someone else. Let me explain to you the scenario, because some of you are in this scenario right now.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh. I'm going to explain how it works. You want to sell your house. I'm like, all right, I buy cribs. Sell it to me. You're like, okay, how are we going to do this? I'm like, all right, well, how much you asking for it? You're like, well, I owe this much on it, but I want to come out of it with something. So I owe 30 on it. Want to make about 20 on it. 50. I charge you 50 for it. How much is it worth? It's worth 100. Any repairs need to be done on it? About $10,000. Okay, so $60,000 is what this house cost me, right? You're like, well, yeah. All right, well, I'll buy it, right? Now, the reason why I'm saying I buy it is, now I'm going to say also, I'll buy your house cash. Uh-oh, I'm telling you, I'm going to buy it cash now. Here's where it gets you. Are y'all listening? Because I'm telling you some $1 million shit that they're not going to tell you. Nobody wants you to know the shit that I'm about to say.
Keep saying it.
Mhm.
All right? They take this contract, right? They get this. It's called getting a property under contract, right? The reason why they're giving you this property under this contract is because you're saying that you're going to buy it. That contract gives you a certain amount of time to provide them with the full amount to start making payments, or to start making payments, because, listen, realistically, nobody is coming to, no one's bringing me a suitcase full of money to buy a house for me. Also, any wire transaction over $10,000 is red flagged. There's only one way.
Trust.
No, contracts. A trust is a contract. I'm taking you deeper now.
Right.
They're using contracts to take possession of these properties, man. In the contract, it says that I have a certain amount of time to start paying on this property.
Mm-hmm.
Or to pay in full. Or it gives me the ability to sell it to someone else. But you don't give a shit. You want your $60,000. Right? That's all you want. You want the $60,000. Here's the deal. The reason why this assignment contract works is because it is considered as a negotiable instrument. Negotiable instruments are cash. Whereas a Federal Reserve note is not. Are y'all listening to me?
Sorry.
Yes, Doc.
They are laughing their asses off right now, son.
No, because you're so right. That is so real.
It's crazy, son. No, it's crazy. It's crazy, son. When I tell you that, when I post all of this real estate shit, and I'm telling you that you could get a car and a house and have a 5-figure income in less than 90 days, they're like, this nigga said he's trying to get more money out of people. He's selling something again. That's impossible. He's doing the infomercial shit. He's marketing again. He's advertising again. That's what you niggas are saying. That's what y'all are saying. When I post this shit, because nobody told you what I just told you, so you feel it's impossible. It has to be a scam. It's some infomercial shit.
No, got you.
Let me explain something to you about that whole infomercial thing. You feel that this information is being hidden from you. You feel that it's being kept from you. You feel that you feel the conspiracy is that they have you signing mortgage contracts and death pledges and they have you in debt and shit, and it's an evil did this to us, and they're keeping the truth from people. Word, son. I was just screaming to you niggas about excuse my English because I'm from New York. This is how it comes out. If you can listen to Cat Williams, you can listen to me. Now, right? No, word, cause I was just screaming this to y'all on my Facebook page. I put up a post. Yo, look, son, your new car, new house, 4 to 5 figure income, less than 90 days. I'll put you on. You know how many likes that shit got? Yeah, like 5.
1, 2, 2, right?
5 likes. Like 5 likes.
But
doesn't that tell you so much about the secret?
Let me put an ass cheek on my. Let me put an ass cheek.
Oh man, you get 50 million then.
Now listen to me though. Listen to me though. I just told y'all what these rich people are doing and how they're getting houses, cars. You know what I'm saying? Making all this money without using money or credit. I just told you that the reason why you don't believe that it's possible is because you've been tricked into it. You think that the information's been hidden from you. Really? These people are screaming this shit to you at 2 o'clock in the morning on your TV. No, when I say this, they're really screaming, son. They're really screaming the truth to you. They're like, you can do it too. I am enjoying my life. I am on a fucking boat. You can be on a fucking boat too. You can do the same thing too. They're saying and screaming this shit to y'all, son.
Yeah, they're telling the truth.
They sure do.
It's on the internet in big letters. Big, bright, yellow fucking letters. They're telling you, get out of this. Stop. Look, you don't have to be in the rat race no more. I'm chilling. Look at me. Look at my wife. Look at my kids. What the fuck?
They do.
And y'all are like, he's trying to sell something. He's marketing me. What's the big idea here? Not realizing that this nigga would have had to pay to rent that boat to put his child and wife on. That would have cost him where he get the $2,000 to rent the boat from for that day to make the commercial. I still want to know what you're doing. I still want to know what the fuck you're doing to be able to rent a boat to look like you have a boat for $2,000 in a day. I want to find out what you're doing that it enables you to spend $2,000 in one day. So even if you're bullshitting me, I want to know how you're doing it. Because this commercial cost you money, son.
Sure did.
Where did he get that money if he's scamming you, son? Even if, now mind you, let me explain something else to you. Do you know where he's making a lot of his money from? Selling the information. He knows now. He's doing it. It's working. Right. And now I'm selling you the information so that you can study the same shit I did and do the same shit I did. Of course I'm selling you information. You're not my man. I'm not going to roll a blunt with you and sit with you for 2 hours and smoke 5 blunts and explain this to you. So you need a book, man. 100 of you need books. Where am I going to get this paper and ink from, son? Where am I going to get these books printed? Who is going to bring them to you? I need my own postal service and pay these guys to drive them to your house, whatever state you're in, and they need gas, and they need food. And listen, it's going to cost money either way. It's going to cost money either way. It's going to cost you. Information costs you. If anyone is upset with me for selling information, go to Barnes & Nobles and burn that shit down first. Go find every best-selling author and assassinate them before you say shit to me. Because information costs.
So it does. I say ignorance is no excuse.
Also, I must continue and not digress and say that when you set up your trust, you now You are doing business as whoever the hell I am, realty. Whoever I am, real estate. Whoever the hell my name is, properties. And you now have copies of these contracts, and you are ready to say, I will buy your house cash. Let's go. And somebody says, look, I'm selling my house. I'm going to sell my house. I'm going to sell. And you're like, all right, well, how much you charging? How much you want for it? Well, I want $80,000. How much is it worth? $200,000. How much repairs? $10,000. Holy shit, there's $120,000 in profit in this. If I make $20,000 and sell this contract to a buyer, he's going to make $100,000. Are y'all listening to me?
Yes,
it
sir.
is easy to do. It is easy to do because an investor is going to say, wait a minute, right? This house is worth $200,000, and you guys want $120,000, so or you guys want $100,000, so I'm going to make $100,000 on this house. If I do this 10 times, that's $1 million. Yeah, I'll take it.
Damn.
Yeah. An investor would take a house with $20,000 in it because $20,000 5 times is $100,000. Let me explain something to you, though. For each one of these houses, you have to make sure that you make $5,000 in profit. Let me explain how this works. Jill says she wants to sell me her house. Jill's house is worth $100,000. Jill wants to charge me $60,000 for it. That means that there's $40,000 in profit in this house. I say, hey, I want to make $10,000, right? Okay, so I tell the buyer, because I'm going to sell this contract to an investor, right? I tell the buyer that this house is, is worth $10,000 more than what she's charging it, so that I can make my $10,000. But this investor is making a huge profit, so he's going to take it. I get paid. The seller gets paid. The investor's going to flip that property and get paid. Everybody's happy. Who's not going to do that?
Does that get written in the contract, or do you put it in later?
Does what get written in the contract? Everything is on paper.
Your extra. Okay.
What you have to tell, everything is on paper. Everything.
Got it.
The only thing that's not on paper in a real estate transaction is when you go to the bathroom.
Okay, got you.
Now, listen to what I'm saying. Listen to what I'm saying to you. All right? You are baptized. You are baptized. You have the private trust. You have the EIN number. You have the fictitious name statement, which is the same as the doing business as name. You have started with real estate. You learned from me how to get started in real estate, and now all you have to do is go on Craigslist or something and say, I buy houses cash. Hit me up. My number is this. My email address is this. People are going to say, really? And they're going to hit you. As much you have to work. You have to advertise. You have to put this out there. You have to work. It's your new job. You're about to make $10,000 in 2 weeks. You're going to put in some work. You're going to put in some work for that, or you won't make it. And whatever, son. Like you want to be broke or not. Like, you feel me? Now here's the thing, right? You're not using any of your money to do this. All you're doing is finding people that are selling, and you're checking the numbers to see if the numbers are okay, and if the numbers are cool, you'll take it. Everybody in real estate knows that this business is ran on contracts. The only people that don't know this is you. When you say, I'll buy your house cash, people know that you're talking about a contract. You're the only one that doesn't know that.
What do you mean you're the only one? You as in who?
The general public has no idea. That
you're talking about a contract. Exactly. Gotcha.
Word. Okay? That is how they're buying houses. Because guess what? Even though I'm a real estate investor, if I like this house, I'll keep this one. I'm not selling it at all. I'm gonna keep this one. Right? But listen, you just got a free house.
Come on.
The individual said, "I'll sell to you here. This is a contract." The contract gives you ownership of the property, man. You can go live in it if you want to. You can go live in it until you sell it. It's yours after you get. Listen to what I'm saying to you. People are getting houses for free out there, for entire houses for free, and buildings out there for free. I know somebody doing it. I was trained by the lady that's doing it. She has 7 properties. She gave me one. Listen to what I'm saying. She gave me one to sell. Yeah, if you sell this one, I'll give you such and such amount of dollars. Hey, you can take this one and see what you can do with that. Son, what the fuck? Listen. I'm trying to stay calm. I'm trying to stay calm here, son, when I talk to y'all about how it is, son. Right? And now, a deal, getting an investor to be interested in your property, only takes about a day. Closing on a house and getting that $10,000 out of that one deal takes about 10 days.
Oh,
You do that 5 times, that's $50,000. That's $50,000 if you could do that. If you can find 5 sellers and 5 people that'll buy it because the numbers are good, then you can make $50,000. However fast you could find 5 sellers with 5 houses with good numbers on it. If you could make $100,000 in 30, 60, and between 45 and 60 days, what are you chasing this birth certificate shit for? Because you're not going to get any money out of that. In the next 90 days, chasing that shit, you're going to get nothing.
Trouble. There's some trouble, though, Cynthia.
But after a year, because I've watched these people study this shit for years, studying this birth certificate, trying to get access to this account. I've been watching people trying to get access to this account for years. If you start contracting and assigning contracts for houses now, you will be a millionaire in a year, son. You will have made $1 million in a year without money. They're not checking your credit for this shit. They're not checking your credit. These sellers, they're sellers, man. They are in debt. They need to clear up their debt. I'll sell the house as long as you give me the amount that I have to pay off, and I make some extra money on the side. We can go get another house and get this out of our hair. Those are not the type of people that are going to be checking your credit, son. These are regular homeowners, people like you. There's nobody checking your credit, son. And if you're doing it in the name of a trust, oh my God, nobody even knows that you exist. What I'm saying is that, what I'm trying to tell y'all is that I just covered name change, status change, citizenship change, private business setup, and how to make money. I also covered how to operate in the public. Just now, I just covered all of that for y'all, just now. Can anybody tell me what makes them think that any of what I said is not true?
Nothing.
Come up. I need the devil's advocate somewhere, please. And you know what's funny? Don't try, because even a devil's advocate can't tell me shit about this. Because you can Google. I tell y'all every time I open my mouth, I tell you Google everything I fucking say. Google everything I say. Watch what happens. Watch what happens. Google everything I say. Watch what happens. You're being laughed at. They're watching you on these pages, on these Facebook pages. And you know what else is funny? You know what else is funny? There's people in these groups on Facebook watching you do this that are ordained by me and are free already. and they're watching y'all do this shit, laughing at you. I don't know why. Don't ask me. You know what I'm saying? Don't ask me why they're not telling the people in these groups to get ordained too. You know what I'm saying? Maybe they don't want to lose their followings to Machette or some shit. I don't know. But a lot of these people that y'all are following and listening to in these other groups are ordained by me. But teaching you some other shit.
I can think of a name.
That don't make no sense right there.
It don't make sense, but I'm watching it. And it's funny. You hear other people saying, I can name some names. I can tell you some people. Because I'm not bullshit. Because I'm not bullshitting you, yo.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
There's a number of them. I could go on one hand and say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These motherfuckers right here are ordained by me, and they're teaching y'all the opposite. That is an agent, son.
Yeah, one of them actually has the page. Is the creator of the page.
You know what I'm saying? So.
And why can't we say the name? Why can't we say the name?
Look, I'm a rapper. No, wait.
It ain't necessary.
Wait.
I'm just wondering, like, what is the issue with
I'm about to tell you my reason. My reason is because I'm a rapper. I'm a rapper, and I'm not giving him that credit. I'm not putting his name out there, making him famous by saying his name on some rapper shit. I'm not making him famous by saying his name. I'm not giving him that energy. Screw them. So,
all right. Okay, right on. I'm
from a hip hop culture. We don't do that. Unless I'm gonna fight you, I'm not saying your name. You know what I mean?
Got you.
I'm not putting your name in my raps unless we're gonna do something. So yeah, look, man. So that concludes. I think that would conclude. I think I covered everything that I wanted to cover because we have 4 more classes in here. So I'll cover the other stuff and get into details and all that, in the other classes. But I wanted to clear up the confusion. And I mean, listen, man. Like I'm not playing. Y'all seeing all this real estate stuff and all these new links, like just thinking that I'm trying to come up with new ways no, I'm following the instructions, man. I'm following the steps, and it's going to get me somewhere. I'm trying to show y'all. I'm trying to show y'all that this is, like I'm trying to show you. God gives people stuff too. That's my message. My message is that God gives people stuff too. Because everybody feels that you gotta contract with the devil to get rich and to be famous or to accomplish your dreams or your goals. Listen, no, God gives people all that shit too, man. I don't know what made people forget. I guess the devil made it look so good, and he's so flamboyant with it. You know what I'm saying? That people think only the devil you can only get stuff by signing contracts with the devil. God gives people shit too, man. I was homeless 2 years ago. I don't know how I paid the rent every month for 2 years. I don't have a job. I don't work 9 to 5. I do not hustle nothing outside. People tell me I need to go outside more often. I do not hustle, son, out there. I promised myself I wouldn't do that anymore and haven't. Okay? So all I do is this. God gives people shit too.
Well, thank you.
I will openly say before I leave those groups. Leave them. I'll say it. I'll say it. Leave those groups, man. They are confusing you. They're going to make you study. You'll be studying that shit for years and not get nowhere. You'll be studying that and questioning me. And I'm going to leave you. Listen, son, I'm going to leave you. You're going to keep listening to them and studying that shit, and you're going to come back to me and notice that I'm not there, B. Because I have shit to do, man. I have things to do. I have places to go. Like, you know what I mean? I'm not going to stay on Facebook explaining this shit all the time. So I'm only saying this to you to keep your mind and your body, your soul safe, man. Get away from, I'm telling you, man, they're trapping you. They're going to trap you, son. You're going to be stuck in Facebook for another 4 fucking years. Some of you have been stuck in Facebook limbo, trying to figure out how to listen. It's scary, man. It's scary. You know what? I left Facebook, right? I left Facebook for a minute, and people were pissed at me. You know why they were pissed? Because they felt like I abandoned them. They felt like I disappeared. Like I took all of that information and ran. Yeah, that's what they felt. You know where I was at? I was still right here. Email was still working. Website was still working. Phone number was still working. These people were so fucked up in their head that they felt that Facebook was everything, and that if I left Facebook, I was gone. I didn't exist anymore. I disappeared. If I left Facebook, he left us. He abandoned us. He's not on Facebook anymore. There's something wrong with them, son. Anybody who feels like that, there's something wrong with you, son. There's something wrong with you, son. Because these people could have emailed me. They could have went to the website, left me a message. They could have called my number, text me. They could have asked Jasmine, where's Machette at? You know what I'm saying? But because I left Facebook, they felt that I was gone from the world because I left Facebook. If Facebook is your whole world, something is wrong with you, son.
I saw this little documentary recently that said that this guy was part of the elite. He said the elite are not on Facebook. They never have been. Won't ever be.
It's for y'all. It's a distract. Listen, let me tell you what else is for y'all. Paper money and coins. It's for broke people to play with. I just told you they're buying. Let me say this. They're using these contracts to get skyscrapers and shit too, man. In schools and hospitals, they're doing this with contracts. They're not using money to do. You want a hospital? You want to start a medical center? You need the building?
Wow.
Look, man. I'm done. I'm done. I'm going to leave now. I love all of y'all and everything. I think, that I said everything that I wanted to. Yeah, I said everything I wanted to say for the night. I hope y'all took notes because this was a very heavy class. You know what I'm saying? And look, when I tell you to get other people that you feel are smart and awake and bring them to me, I'm not saying that so you could bring me money. I'm trying to flip cribs. I almost don't care about $200-300. Almost. I'm almost there. Almost. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to flip houses and buildings. You know what I'm saying? I'm not telling you to send these people to me so that I can make money off of them. I'm trying to tell you to save the people that are worth saving.
Okay.
What the hell, man?
Thank you, Michael. Thank you.
Don't know this stuff and not tell your friends. Like, you know what I'm saying? Don't know this and keep it from them because I didn't keep it from you.
Right on.
Thanks, Doc.
But
Appreciate
I'm out of here. I'm done, man. I need to. Yeah, I'm done.
I have a question for you, Michael, and I'd like to know.
I'll let you get your question.
Email you or what?
No, you can.
No, I mean, I'll ask you, huh?
You want to ask?
It's unrelated to the topic.
Oh, okay, so just email it to me, man. But anybody else have a question before? I'm not gonna leave y'all like that. Yeah, anybody have a question, man?
Oh, wait, let me see. I have one
I'm
more.
done talking. I'll answer a question or two.
Machette, grab yourself a beer, man.
What you say?
What? Grab yourself a beer? Is what you said?
Grab myself a beer. Oh, I don't drink.
Oh, okay.
So I'm gonna go get a cigar. I'm gonna go get a cigar, and I'm gonna split it open, and I'm gonna dump the tobacco.
You mentioned
now,
using the EIN
next
number.
Question.
You mentioned. Okay, the next question. You mentioned using the EIN number for a job to get a job. How do you just use it? Like as you fill out an application, you have the EIN number. You just use that number.
No.
Simple as that.
You take your private trust EIN number, and you go to that job. After you fill out the job application, shoot yourself because you have a private trust, which is a business. If you have a business and you go apply for a job, you know what?
Well, you mentioned it. I just want to make sure because somebody else asked me. I just wanted to ask.
Yeah. I just showed you how you can make $10,000 in like 20 days with a trust.
No, I get it.
You go get a job. All right now.
I was just inquiring about why you said it. That's all. And you answered it.
No, when I answer questions like that, I'm never responding to people's direct questions. I'm never talking to you directly. I'm saying I say what I say in general for y'all. You can look at because other people are going to say these same things that you're saying to me. Other people are going to say these things to you, and I want you to look at it like look at it the way I'm seeing it. You know what I mean? Like somebody just told you know what I mean? Like yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm not being personal when I'm talking to you. I'm never being personal or specific.
I didn't think you were, but okay, got you.
But yeah, I'm going. And I hope that y'all got everything. And we're gonna post this recording up so you can listen to it again. But yeah, that's it till the next class. Yeah.
When is the next one? Okay, bye.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.